Hi, Mark with Upward Business Consulting. Got a real quick question for you. What do you do for a living? What is your occupation? Are you a banker? Are you in sales? Are you a farmer? Are you in management? What do you do for a living? Go ahead and give it some thought. And I'm going to contend whatever you answered, whatever you said you do for a living, you're wrong. Now you're saying, wait. How can you tell me that I'm wrong? I'm an attorney. How can you possibly tell me that I am wrong with what I do for a living? I know what I do for a living. No, that's not what you do. What you do for a living is you provide value to whoever's paying you. End of story. So that means if you're an employee for a company, your company is providing value to your client base, and your clients are paying the company for your value. At the very least, you have to threaten to provide value. Whether you do or not, you're going to provide value. So if you say, well, wait a minute, Mark, I'm a baker and I bake bread and I've got a line out the door. Okay? What that says is that you're providing value with your baking more than what your competitor does. That's why you have a line out the door. But everybody has to provide value of some sort. I will tell you the biggest way that we insulate ourselves from down economies is by providing more value than our competitors do for less money. So your challenge is to figure out how to provide more value for your customer, regardless of who your customer is. It could be your employer. It could be you if you're a business owner. And I am designing this to primarily talk to business owners at some point in the future. But if you're a business, your goal should always be, how do I provide more value for my clients for their money? Now, if you're an employee, your customer is the business that you work for. And the way you insulate yourself as we go into a down economy, a recession, or whatever people say is happening to our economy right now today in 2022, almost 2023, is you have to provide more value. The way you increase profitability is by providing more value while maintaining or lowering your costs, if at all possible. So the company or person that can figure out how to do that little bit of extra is the company that's going to win, or the person that's going to win. So I've consulted with people in the past, and they get nervous about providing value and figuring out ways to give their customers more so that they can grow their business. And oftentimes what they say is, well, I don't want to have to charge more because I'm doing more. I deserve more because I'm doing more. And the answer to that, unfortunately, is the market will dictate if you're actually doing more than what your client anticipates. You may only be doing what the client requires now, which is enough for you to maintain your business and maintain your career. But the minute you start doing more is when you can start improving your relationship with your client. People have said for years, if you want to get promoted, you got to start doing more. You got to do your boss's job before you can have the boss's position. That's creating more value before you get paid. In my business, my goal is to create value for you, for people that I consult with, for customers in my other business. What we do is we create value for them. So if I am a real estate agent, perhaps the way I create value is by maintaining a network of handymen and movers and contractors that I have vetted that I'm willing to provide to my new buyer as they're buying a new property, because they may be new to the area and not know who those people are. If you're in sales, it could be faster delivery. It could be risk reversal in terms of returns or whatever your company will allow you to do. I've got a friend of mine who's a very successful building supply salesperson. And the way he provides value is he has taken their order entry process and he's made it into a personal order entry process. So they almost bypass their dealings with the main corporation's order entry so that they can deal directly with him because he knows his product, he knows what's in stock, he does the research, and he makes sure it gets delivered. That's how he delivers value. And ironically, the more value that you provide your client, the least likely you are to have to discount anything ever. So the little bit of extra that you do ends up making you a lot of extra money. And to be honest, there's a lot of intangible benefit. In my business, when I'm working with people and they're easy to deal with, as far as a contractor that I work with, I enjoy doing business with them. I give them more work. When they don't cause me to have to go behind them and deal with situations on a regular basis because they've taken the proactive measure of dealing with them ahead of time, and they take responsibility and ownership, I give them more work. I reward them because every job that they do, I know is getting done better and correctly. So if you're looking to start a business, my biggest recommendation for you is going to be look for how you're going to create value in the marketplace. What is something that nobody else is doing, and package it. How do you package it? How do you market that value? Because ultimately, that's what every single person buys on, including yourself. When you're buying something, you want to get the best value for your money. And honestly, the biggest part of marketing is telling your customer and your potential customer what value you're going to bring for what you're going to give them. So the more you can sell the value and what you do that's unique and different and special, that's your own special sauce to your client or your potential client, that adds value. And then you let the marketplace decide if it's enough value for the money that you're asking for it. But I will tell you, if you really take a step back and look at what you do and look at how you can improve what you're doing, you can add value and it won't cost you a whole bunch of money and you'll increase your profitability. So ask yourself, how can I add value to my clients? And everybody's your client, whether they're an internal client or an external client to your company. But how can I add value to my client and give them more for the same money? And if I want more money, I've got to give them more to begin with. You always have to do more than what your competition's going to do. Imagine if you're the baker, right? And you've got a line out the door and people love your product. But when they walk in your store, you don't have anything on the shelves. And you say, wait, hold on. I have to go bake the bread first before I'm willing to put it on the shelf. I don't want to incur the risk of producing the value before it's sold. Well, our world doesn't work that way. If you're the one producing the value, you have to produce the value before somebody else can buy it. So if you're the baker, you have to invest in the storefront, invest in the machinery, invest your time and energy into baking the bread to put it on the shelf to potentially sell it to people that are walking in. Well, that's no different than if you're in sales, if you're in accounting, if you're an attorney, whatever you're doing, you have to extend yourself first. You have to create the inventory for somebody to buy before they can ever buy it. So create the inventory, create value, put yourself out there. And if it doesn't sell, the same thing a baker would do is they've got to figure out, why isn't it selling? Why am I not getting more value for what I'm doing? Evaluate it and create a better tasting bread that the market craves and thrives for. And that's how you survive a down economy. And best yet, when the economy is doing well, that's how you do even better then. So figure out how you're going to create value and create it. So this is my third video now, and I feel like I've started creating some value. So here's where I'm going to ask you to like and subscribe to my videos. In the first two videos, I didn't do that because I wanted to create value first in people's lives before I ask for something in return. So if you're getting something out of these videos, please like, subscribe, comment, give me a call, let's chat. Whatever you feel is of benefit to you and that you feel that I've earned that, then please do that.